Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing a book review of The Maze Runner. I read it a while ago, but I just never got around to making a review, so I'm going to try to do it now. I didn't really like the book, as I'll get into more why later, but I'll just give a synopsis for the moment. So the book starts with the character Thomas. He wakes up. He's been sent up in this elevator, and he's in this maze with all these other boys. And turns out, I think they said it was like a year. They've been there for a year, and they keep trying to get out. But there's this maze with these creatures, and the maze keeps changing every day, and so yeah. And then so Thomas, he wakes up, and the boys there are very suspicious of him, kind of being a dick to him the entire time, to be honest, despite him seeming to be the smartest. And so it's pretty much just follows him as he tries to become a maze runner, which are the people that actually go into the maze each day to try to figure out a way out. And so not everyone is a maze runner. You have to, I guess, earn your way up. I don't know. But he wants to become a maze runner because, he has this, goes on about, his feelings or something. He needs to do this. He has this need to do it. And so, yeah, so that pretty much takes over most of the book. That was, we have incidences with the other boys and stuff like that, but it was really not interesting. And so eventually, because there's this other, there was a girl sent up as well, the first girl, but she's pretty much unconscious throughout the entire book, until the end. When she does finally wake up, we learn that they are both telepathic, at least, with each other. And so that was completely, out there kind of plot twist. Before it felt very much like it was very realistic, I guess, grounded, but now, telepathy, yeah. But yeah, once the girl wakes up, shit starts going down, because the creatures who usually stayed in the maze at night are now coming out of it and, killing people or taking them, whichever, I can't remember. And so they are suspicious of them both, and so they, they have, bitching about how he's, they're suspicious. I don't know. It's just forgettable. But yeah, so they eventually go into the maze, and he figures out a way to actually get into, the lab or wherever it is that the creatures come out of. And that's pretty much the end of the book. So yeah, it was pretty boring, to be honest. I felt like it was boring because the characters were they weren't very well written, I guess. They were very bland. Maybe it's because they don't remember their previous life, so we really don't get, kind of who the people they were before. And so it felt like I wasn't able to connect with the characters. Also because, the thing is, they should, have them grow. We should be able to learn about these characters with their interactions with the other characters. But even then, so much of the interactions between the character were conflict. There are just so many, every time Thomas has some kind of exchange with the person, it pretty much ends a conflict. And so I couldn't really care about the characters. I couldn't really care about their relationships with each other. And so it was very much, I had nothing to attach onto to make me like this. The only thing I said, and kind of the reason that I watched this movie read this book in the first place, I thought the premise was interesting, having a maze and you kind of have to escape. But even that was kind of disappointing, but it was more because of the characters. Kind of dumb. Because, they couldn't figure out that, they know that they're sent there, first off. and so they know that there's a reason for why they're sent there, and the maze keeps changing, so anybody would think, well, maybe there's a pattern to this. And so instead of trying to discover what this pattern is, because, for example, they go into this maze and there's this plaque on the wall and they're pretty much dismiss it. And, how did they know it wasn't something important? They know a clue. And so that's pretty much kind of how they are the entire book, and it just annoyed me. Of course, it was finally Thomas who discovered that there was like a pattern when it comes to the maze. They keep like actual like records of like the changing. Every time it changes, they have a map, and so they didn't think to actually see if there was a pattern in all the maps, and so they just came off as very dumb, and they had to make him dumb so that, I guess, make Thomas appear smarter or better. I don't know. Because also, because it's revealed that these kids are supposed to be intelligent. They have like higher IQs or something. All their names are, their nicknames are based on like intelligent figures, which I thought was kind of pretentious. But yeah, so learning that, I had to laugh because they are so dumb the entire book. So yeah, I wasn't into it. And the writing itself was very bad. It felt very much like it was written by written for a young adult. It's hard to explain the kind of writing. It just felt very much like, the author didn't know how to write. And one of the other things that irritated the shit out of me the entire book, because it's a young adult, and you kind of see this not only in books but in movies when it comes to young adult or juveniles, they will substitute cuss words for completely made up words, which just makes it dumb. So they have a lot of different terms, but one of the ones that annoyed me was instead of saying fucking, they'll say shucking. And that's pretty much it. They'll pretty much change a letter in the word, and that's it. And it just annoyed the shit out of me for some reason. I don't know why. It just feels like it's ridiculous when they say it. So, but yeah. So that was my thoughts on the Maze Runner. Yeah, I think I got all my thoughts out. But yeah, it was not. I had to push my way through here. Through the book, I had to read it in 2-minute chunks, or listen to it in 2-minute chunks, because I listened to audiobooks. It was a pain to get through, and I don't think I won't go, honestly, to read the second one, because there are so many books I want to read that are obviously better. So that was my book review of The Maze Runner. So if you did like this video, give it a like, subscribe to get notifications for all the videos I'll be doing. You guys have a nice night. Stay safe out there. I'll talk to you later.